temperature rises with the arrival of spring, so does the number of fleas in our yards. If your dog is starting to itch, it may be the latest victim of those pests. The K-9 coach, Floyd Swiden, is here to explain how to best tackle the problem. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Jenny, so this is your dog Chester?
Yes.
And is he recovered yet from the flea issue?
He has. He still scratches a little bit, but...
Okay, so how do you know when your dog has fleas?
He started scratching a lot, and he was actually crying and going in the backyard and rolling around, and he was just miserable.
And so actually, are there really some dogs that are not allergic to fleas?
There's some that are not allergic, but a lot of them are. It's the saliva of the flea that they're allergic to. The saliva, when they bite, they don't want us to feel it, so the saliva makes it not feel it immediately, but that's what the dogs are itching from.
And that's so interesting that I never knew that the female flea is the one that does the biting.
Well, the male will bite too, but she needs to bite to make her egg sac, to make the eggs. So she's the one that's ravenous and biting all the time.
Okay, and you're talking about the amount of fleas?
Right, right. Well, first of all, the flea that's bugging us down here is the cat flea, actually. It's not the dog flea, it's the cat flea. It's the one that gets on our dogs and us. And the female, there's 4 stages of your fleas. There's the egg, and then they hatch into the larva, which is the little worm, and then they go in from that to the pupa state, and then to the adult state. Now, once she is an adult, she's going to come out biting. She's going to eat. And as soon as she starts biting, she can start laying her eggs, and she can lay 50 a day. And she's going to die in a few days, but yet her offspring are going to lay 50 a day. So if you do the math, where we have 1 baby every 9 months, they can have 1 trillion offspring, and that's trillion with a T.
Oh, a trillion.
A trillion.
Fleas. Isn't that horrible? It doesn't seem like you can never get rid of the problem,
Right.
almost. It seems so hard to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But really, if you buy the cheap medication at the store, it's just not going to cut it.
It's not. Talk to your vet about the best medication for them. It'll be one of the topical ones, but it'll be one of the brand names that we know, Frontline or Revolution or something like that. And they're a little more expensive, but those are the ones that work.
I learned the hard way because you end up spending a little bit of money, but you end up spending more because it doesn't work when you get this cheap stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what else do people need to know?
Well, to treat your house, if you do have a flea infestation, do everything all at once. Treat your dog. Then treat your house indoors by setting off some bug bombs or spraying. And make sure you spray under everything or hire a professional. Now, your yard is another thing, too. You can hire a professional to do it. I do my own yard, and it's a 2-step process. The first night and an evening, we do it in the evening so it doesn't ruin the spray, is we spray our yard with a very good spray that we can pick up at Home Depot, the type that goes onto your garden hose. Let that dry. The next day, put the granules out, and that'll last you a few months and keep the fleas out. Okay,
real quickly, one thing you definitely want to be concerned about is the tapeworm.
Yes, ma'am. The larva stage of the flea eats tapeworm eggs. And if it grows into an adult flea and this guy eats one of those, we have tapeworms, and that's what you see coming out the back end. So we have to take them to the vet and get those cured too.
Yeah, I had a problem with that. Sad to say. Okay, well, thank you very much for coming this morning.
Certainly.
And if you have a question for the K-9 coach, K-9 coach,
There you go.
coach, you know what I mean. Send us an email at news@K-9TV.com, and in the subject line, write K-9 coach, not pooch. Okay, coming up, if you love art and the